Oh, man. You know, there's an old saying, some traditions were meant to be broken. This is one of those traditions in the pro wrestling world, more specifically WWE, that I truly hope one day down the line gets broken. That I truly hope that a wrestler wins a championship down the pipeline and finally refrains from doing this obnoxious act. Because it happened again, this time 3 titles between 2 individuals. Oh, man. You know what I'm talking about, guys. It's winning a championship and immediately rubbing your privates all over the titles. That's right. Taking a shower with the championship, having sex with the championship, rubbing it all over your tits, your privates, your ass, and photoing it. Maybe some videos, right? So that when the next person wins the title, you're fresh in their dome piece. And that championship, right? When they want to go kiss it, right? Because they just won the title. It's like the Lombardi Trophy, right? The Stanley Cup. You kiss it, right? That's the ultimate achievement. But before you kiss it, just remember Logan Paul's privates were on that. Not so fast. You might want to refrain. Now, people say this all started back when Shawn Michaels posed for, like, what was it? One of those risky magazines. There was a bunch of them back in the day. I guess he posed and the championship was, like, in front of him, or maybe, like, on or around his midsection, and people say that ever since that tradition really was ignited. Listen, I don't care when this started. I don't care who started it. It's weird. These are titles. Just act like they are, right? Like, keep them in a prestigious mindset. These are championships. Treat them as such. Right? High school or college when you won championships and trophies, right? I'm pretty sure you didn't hit the shower with the trophy, did you? You didn't take your girlfriend after that big college victory and you won that trophy. Did you have sex with your girlfriend and the trophy? Maybe. But these are WWE titles. Now, you could say, okay, well Logan Paul recently was one of the last ones, right? There was the scandal with Paige, obviously, and I think that was Brad Maddox. And there was that whole scandal. Okay, we moved on from that. Logan Paul, people were saying, that was all in good fun, right? He went everywhere with his title. He was in the shower with it. He was having sex with his girlfriend with it. He was on the roof smoking with the title, butt-ass naked. I get it. It's for a laugh. Still, the next person who gets that championship, I mean, you got to sterilize that to the greatest of magnitudes. But now you see like some of the top stars. This story that I'm talking about, the newest, and this is a photo from Becky Lynch. Apparently, it's in her book with the title. You knew this photo had to exist, right? Something like that, and it's a photo of your current world champion, with a different title, though. This is when Becky still had the Raw and SmackDown, like both titles. And I don't know if this was the original. Was this the original Universal Championship, I guess? I forget. But Seth had his Big W Championship, and Becky had her Raw and SmackDown title. And Becky Lynch reveals this photo in this new book that is... It's out on March 26th, but the pre-copies are already out, or they're on the interweb machine, something like that, where it's pretty much already making the rounds. In fact, Becky showed a bunch of individuals that was on Up, Up, Down, Down, something like that. Xavier Woods was in there, Cody Rhodes, Bianca Belair, Tommaso Ciampa. And they all were seeing this photo and they were flipping out like, you have got to be, what in the... Xavier was the happiest because Xavier loves to film stuff like that and if you remember him and Brad Maddox, we won't get into that. But Xavier was having a great time with it. Everybody else was like, what in the world? Cody Rhodes wanted nothing to do with it. Bianca Belair is like, girl, what in the... They're like, what are you doing? These are the titles that we gotta win from you. So Becky and Seth, they put up this, they take this photo, obviously fresh out of, it's a hotel room, so they're fresh out of bed, butt ass naked, so they were just doing the how you doing ditty, and they were feeling themselves, obviously. They wrapped the titles around every private part, right? Or it's around, one of the titles is around Becky's tits, the other around her how you doing hooper scooper, and then you had Sethington with his around his diddly hi-ho. So there you go, man. I mean, 3 titles, wrapping up everything, butt-ass naked, and here's the photo. Here you go. The titles are... we're doing everything with those championships. So whoever won those titles after, right? You get the timetable on that. Whoever got those championships right after, damn! You don't want to be that person. Or you really hope that you rocked the local CVS and the local Walgreens and you got all those single alcohol wipes, right? Those like Lysol ones that has like at least 99.99% kills bacteria. You want to take the whole canisters and just start scrubbing away for the entire night. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins should have to pay you for the amount of work you put in to scrub those championships. That's gross, bro. Coming from watching real sports and stuff, and you see these NFL teams, they win that Lombardi trophy, what it means to them. And you all know that visual. Right after you win the Super Bowl, there's that long line. You stand in that line. This is right after the game. All the players get in a line. And a Hall of Fame quarterback or a former MVP will walk down, Super Bowl MVP, and they'll walk down with the Lombardi trophy. And everybody takes a kiss on it, right? Everybody's kissing that trophy. I doubt very much anybody's taking it home, showering, and having sex with it. I don't get what it is in the pro wrestling world, but we have to stop that tradition. People are going to win those titles. They shouldn't have to have that in their... Damn! Or at least keep it to yourself. Come on. It's a laugh. I get it. I mean, I guess. I don't know who's giggling over this. I mean, you saw when... Well, I'll tell you, when Becky showed everybody in that room, the Bianca Belair, everybody was just like stunned, like, what are you doing? Are you that bored? Was the sexy time that meh? It's a wild tradition. Anyway, here's the photo. That's right. I'm going to tell you, you're going to see, hey, if I had to see it, you're going to see it. So if you don't want to see it, you got to... Like, if you don't want to hear something, earmuffs, you're going to have to do some peekaboo blinders now, man. Peekaboo blinders, because I'm telling you right now, once you see it, you can't unsee it. This is Becky and Sethington. That's right. That's right. Get a good look at what we have to stop. The tradition has to be broken. Is it too much to ask that in the future, if you win a championship, put it up on a nice... have like a nice a podium or something, right? A nice shelf, a golden shelf. I don't know. Put the title right there, and every time you hit the road, you can take off with it. You don't even need to. When you show up to TV, they have a TV championship. Not the old Stunning Steve Austin WCW TV championship, but like it's the same. It's like a replica title of the one you have, and it's nice and shiny, and they use it for TV. So... Technically, you don't always have to travel with your actual championship. But damn, we got to start breaking this tradition, man. I mean, every single time somebody wins the title, we end up seeing a photo leaking of them butt-ass naked with their junk all over the shit. We don't want to think of the titles that way. Come on! It could be a little better than that, no? Oh, I tell you guys... Anyway, moving on. I thought that would be a fun way to kick us off on this upload. We put up an upload just a few hours ago, by the way. It was all had to do with, well, a little bit of talk on Ospreay, a little bit of talk of Wardlow, that poor dude, and a whole lot of talk of Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks debuting in AEW. So that was about 25 minutes. You guys really are enjoying that. I appreciate all the support. That was just a few hours ago. We're at what, 30, 35, 100 of you guys have already caught it. Man, you guys rock. I appreciate the support big time. So I said, you know what? I got some time. Let's talk a little bit more. Let's talk about those damn titles. Everybody's showering and having sex with the titles. What are we doing? This is not the WrestleMania we paid for. Moving on. Where do we go? Where do we even go from there, right? NXT, man. The question should we take it off the air, right? We, as if we own it. But should WWE just be done with it? Well, that's kind of impossible now. It's going to the CW, and they're still not going to make a profit. Anybody that knows the business understands what I am talking about. Same reason AEW's Tony Khan, to this day, says he hasn't earned an actual profit from AEW yet. It's not that easy. NXT to this very day has never turned a profit for Vince McMahon and now TKO. In the CW deal, even though they got an uptick, that doesn't mean internal revenue is going to be pouring in, guys. They're still not going to be making a dime, unfortunately. So it doesn't look like they're going anywhere. They're going over to the CW, obviously. But what should be happening, unfortunately, is it needs to be pulled from the air. There's just no excitement for this show. This show is... Every Tuesday night, it's DOA already. It's already dead on arrival. This show pulls nothing. It just came off of a Roadblock. It was like a mini pay-per-view, PLE, last week. But on Tuesday night, not an actual PLE, but they pumped it up like it was, right? Roadblock. Got through some big matches, really try to garner your interest. And they only pulled about, 654,000 viewers. That was it for a themed Tuesday night show. This week, just 1 week removed and only 3 weeks away from their next actual PLE, titled Stand and Deliver, which is April 6th in the afternoon. Guys, as we get closer to that event, they lost 66,000 viewers this week from last week. NXT pulled in 588,000 viewers. That is a 10% drop as we get closer to WrestleMania weekend. Stand and Deliver. 10% drop. This was the second lowest number of the year, second only to February 27th when NXT scored 570,000 viewers. Again, Stand and Deliver is in 23 days. And NXT is pulling 588,000 viewers. Going backwards. Now we see why WWE threw all the main roster talent on there when they were trying to get the CW deal or whoever they were going to cut that deal with, because then they were rocking 7, 8, nearly 900,000 viewers. You take them all away, nobody's caring about this Bush League stuff. It's unfortunate. There's some talent down there for sure, but if you look at their production, it's absolutely childish. I mean, everything is overly scripted. You have 16 camera angles. Everything feels like a really bad, cheesy, elementary type of soap opera, right? It's just really bad. Like, all the promos are so overly scripted and so overly produced that it's no wonder after all this time they're only scoring 588,000 viewers. There was a moment where they were actually getting equal to and even beating for a couple weeks AEW. Now they can't even sniff them. The question is out there, even though they've yet to move to CW, should NXT just be taken off the air? Unfortunately, my vote is it would have to be. I mean, if you dip under 5, the decision is made for you. It's rough. The Rock. Let's talk about something positive, right? Something good. The Rock has sold out another consecutive SmackDown. And we say The Rock because SmackDown had over 3,000 tickets still up for grabs before The Rock was announced. Just over a week ago, I believe, is when The Rock was announced for the 3 consecutive SmackDowns. Less than 10 days for sure. All 3,000 plus sold. That's the power of The Rock. It's the power of love. It's the power of rock. So, pretty cool. The Rock continues to get WWE a lot of money. Drew Mack. I got to give a shout out to Drew Mack. This guy is just destroying it on his social doohickey machines. So awesome to see. This is what The Rock has taught everybody. When Cody and Seth were making fun of The Rock for cutting a 20-minute or a 16-minute, with the edits, it was 21 minutes, 16-minute promo on Cody and Seth, and then an 11-minute promo the next week. And they're making fun of them. Oh, you have all that time on social to do that. Well, you guys are doing the same thing. You're just not saying anything of substance or relevance. The Rock is actually in character selling matches or selling himself or selling you guys. It's okay to be in character on the social doohickey machine. It's okay to sell the feud that you're in or the story that you're in. Sell yourself, sell the individuals you're in the ring with. It's okay to do that. The Rock is showing you how it's done. Drew McIntyre's like, he's on to something. And Drew has been slaying it recently, putting up a post. It's a vid as he makes his protein shake. And he's in the kitchen, and he's just cutting a promo, naturally, in his element, in his kitchen, making a protein shake. And he's just running Seth Rollins down, literally. Like, who gives himself their own? You made up all your nicknames, didn't you? Nobody calls you a visionary. Nobody calls you an architect. If that's the case, he's like, then I'm the visionary, right? I'm gonna call myself tall, handsome, something or the other. I don't know. Drew McIntyre was just going off, but everything he was saying was like, there's a little button of truth there. There's a little hall of truth in this, or a lot of truth. And so Drew McIntyre just started throwing in one haymaker after the other, and he's talking about he's making fun of Seth's laugh. He's like, and there you are on Raw giggling, hee hee hee. I'm like, this dude is off the wall. What's in those protein shakes? My point is, you guys got to check out Drew McIntyre in everything he does, because Drew is truly just, he's amazing. And this type of heel character, it's like, I'm not putting him in the same league as Roman right now, but I am saying that it's the same type of thing where we knew if Roman turns heel, we're going to get the best Roman. Roman's going to get the best version of himself, tap into the self-esteem that he's been lacking, the confidence that Roman Reigns didn't have. He was going to find it if he turns heel. So it's best for Roman. It's best for the fans. It'll be best for business. We were right. We were right all along. Same thing for Drew. We knew now it's time to turn heel. We have to see that side. It's going to be best for Drew more than anybody. He's going to find himself again. Get that self-esteem maybe he's lost along the way. Get that confidence back that he once had. And for the fans, we get the benefit, and the company, well, they're going to be the ultimate winners. So this is just the best. This Drew is the best Drew. He's just having fun. And whatever you do for a career, when you're having fun, sky's the limit. And we'll wrap it up because this went a little bit long with the whole championships on privates section of this upload. So we will end it with LA Knight. LA Knight pissed still about his booking. And LA Knight talking about how everyone tells him, oh man, what a year you had. And he's telling you, yeah, as far as like what I did for myself, like thankfully the fans and the chants and the cheers, they caught on like wildfire. Because he's saying booking didn't help me at all. He says as far as being the guy who's won an IC title or a US title or has won anything of substance, he says, it just didn't happen. I haven't won anything. And he says it's time for the ball to start rolling. It's the same thing he said months ago, guys. You remember we cut that interview and talking about how everything is now under Paul Levesque McMahon. And he's like, well, it's just time to get going for me right now. So whether it's Vince, whether it's Paul, I should have already been going. There should have been no reason I was on the shelf after the Bray Wyatt match at the Rumble. Why did I miss WrestleMania when they were cheering my name on that Friday night before Mania during that Battle Royal? I was the loudest chant. You kept me off. You kept me off the big Madison Square Garden show. You didn't want me to participate at SummerSlam. You wanted none of it. Mind you, this was the bulk too, especially all toward the end of 2023 was all Levesque McMahon, and it goes with his frustration for not winning anything, no championships. You guys remember the United States Championship. It was the Fatal 4. We all knew that was LA Knight's time, right? Win that, hold it for a while, good substance with it. When he drops it, then you slingshot him to the main event scene. And unfortunately, I don't know what Levesque McMahon was thinking. LA Knight doesn't know what he was thinking. But he went with Rey Mysterio and Escobar. LA Knight didn't even win the Fatal 4-Way. So he didn't even earn a right to be the final two. It went to Rey Mysterio and Escobar. Rey Mysterio didn't need a US title at that juncture in his career. And Santos over LA Knight? LA Knight was the guy who everybody wanted, who was thrusting, who you have to give the chance to give the ball and see if he can score. But don't absolutely derail him and have Escobar in there. And sure enough, it never did anything for Escobar or Rey Mysterio. And LA Knight never won that U.S. title. And guys, you remember what happened? A few weeks later, they just hot-shotted him to a Roman Reigns match in Saudi Arabia just to be flat on his back looking up at the lights. That's actually what happened. And he was a non-factor ever since. They threw him with the Fatal 4-Way, right? To shut everybody up. Hey, we'll put you with Randy Orton. We'll put you with Roman, Randy. Who else was in there? Kevin Owens? I don't know. That weird Fatal 4-Way recently. Was that the Rumble? Maybe that was the Rumble. And there was no way LA Knight was winning that. And he knew that. He says this. So the point is, everything they've done with LA Knight, it's boggling. The AJ Styles WrestleMania match, I love the concept. He doesn't need to win the United States title from Logan Paul now. He didn't even get the chance at it. It was Escobar and Rey Mysterio months ago. This is a consolation prize now. You already muffed up. Now you gotta build them again. You gotta build them properly first, which is where they already botched. So AJ Styles and LA Knight is awesome, you're thinking. There's just one problem. They're booking them like trash. Did you see the storyline for AJ Styles and LA Knight? Let me take you back the last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks, the story is LA Knight's looking for AJ, but Nick Aldis tells LA Knight that AJ Styles is not in the building. That was it 2 weeks ago. That's all you had. So then last week, AJ Styles cuts a vignette type promo, right? And he's delivering a message with an edited video. He's not there again, but there's an edited video. And then all of a sudden, LA Knight takes a steel chair and he starts beating up the television. He's beating up the television. That's your storyline the whole half month. We only have 3 weeks to go before Mania. What are we doing with LA Knight? He has every reason to be frustrated with how his 2023 went. If it wasn't for the fans, it would be a complete failure. HHH is botching a lot. He's completely lost and he's making just erratic decisions. We know that. But LA Knight is not one of those dudes you can screw up on anymore. If you're not careful, LA Knight is going to lose all of his momentum. And that's something that would be absolutely criminal. That's pathetic. This guy was on top of the world for 2023, or at least should have been. Now we're talking about his momentum being completely stomped out? Come on, man! Until next time, and there will be that next time. Top guys, we are out. BC and his unit saying check you. Peace.